Carlos Sainz is on the verge of making a move about his future, and it seems like Williams has emerged as the top contender to sign him from 2025 onwards. The Spaniard has narrowed down his choices to two teams, Sauber and Williams, and judging by the latest reports, the decision to join the Grove-based squad in 2025 should be announced in the upcoming Grand Prix in Barcelona. With all of this in mind, is this the right choice for Sainz's career, and can he be the moving force to return Williams back to where they belong, fighting for podium finishes and maybe even race wins? It's safe to say that the biggest mystery in the current silly season revolves around Carlos Sainz, but it seems like this is something that will be fixed in the upcoming days, as the Spaniard announced that he doesn't have any more time to wait and that he will inform the media about his future. According to sources close to the three-time race winner, his decision has been made quite a while ago, and it's due to be announced in Barcelona, as Sainz is reportedly going to join Williams and pair up with Albon, creating a duo of drivers who will be a solid moving force for the Grove-based squad to return back to the midfield. Talking about his future prior to the Spanish Grand Prix, the smooth operator went on to say, "The latest news is that I'll make a decision very soon. I don't want to wait any longer. It's getting to a point where it's taking space out of my head for quite a few weeks and months now. It's time to make a decision, and that decision will be taken soon. Hopefully, we will have things to talk about very soon." It does make a lot of sense for Sainz to make this move, because even though he was connected to a move to Red Bull and Mercedes, the conditions were just not fitting for him to drive in an uncertain environment. Toto Wolff himself said that they don't want to sign a driver for 1 year only, and when talking about Sainz, the Austrian said that even though he deserves the seat more than anybody else, the Silver Arrows opted for a young talent like Antonelli. Therefore, Sainz's options were narrowed down to Sauber and Williams, and even though many dubbed him to pick the Audi project from 2026 onwards, which is still going to remain Sauber in the upcoming season, Sainz's priorities seem to lie with the stability of Williams. Despite being at the bottom of the table for quite some time, the fact that Williams survived in this harsh environment for a long period of time goes to show that they can only go up from here. Obviously, a huge factor is the driver's lineup, and in the past 2 years, Williams has been nothing but a one-man show, as they went on to score points solely through Albon. Therefore, having a strong second driver next to the tie will push him to the absolute limit, and in situations like this, along with a restructured family back in Grove, Williams can only grow and return to the midfield. This is something that Albon himself believes will happen, maybe not in the first year of regulations, as it will take some time to get used to the new car, but from 2026 onwards, it's definitely the goal. Williams will use Mercedes' engines, something that McLaren has also opted for, and even though Hamilton's decision to move to Ferrari suggested that Mercedes might not have it all figured out for the new regulation era, Wolff's statements and the re-signing of the customer teams are a positive sign for Sainz too. Elaborating on the team's goals in the new regulation era, Albon went on to say, "Yes, it's going to take some time to return to the top. I think we are in a rebuilding phase, and I don't think in 2026 we're going to be all there. Like I said, every team is kind of putting their words and efforts into this 2026 being a reset for everyone. But what I'm hoping is that we can have the power unit carry us a little bit. But it puts us in a good place, and we can still be building, developing and changing parts of the team. And then by 2027, we can really make bigger steps." All of this is a very solid foundation for Sainz if he has to choose between two project teams, because keep in mind that Sauber, a team that has been bought out by Audi, is yet to prove that they can compete for points, let alone race wins or podiums. Their engine will be a newbie in the new regulated era and might not be the best case scenario for the three-time race winner, because he's looking for stability and continuity, with some reports stating that the deal has been signed on a 4-year basis. This is something that is going heavily in Williams' favour too, as the Grove-based squad will have a driver who will secure a lot of stability, feedback and experience back into the team, and most importantly, will try to extract the maximum out of Albon, who has been very cosy in the comfort zone, out-qualifying Sargent 30-0 in their joint time together. But nonetheless, Sainz will keep his cards close to his chest, and when talking about his future, the three-time race winner still didn't want to reveal more information in terms of the team that he's chosen as the next adventure in his career. Elaborating on this matter to a further extent, Sainz said, "I still don't know where my mind lies when it comes to next season. I'm still not sure one way or another. It's still something I'm discussing with my team and brainstorming, and I need a couple of days back at home. I've been at home before this weekend, but I had my head in the Spanish Grand Prix. It's been a hectic 2 weeks in Canada for me, so I haven't had time to sit down and make a decision. This is what I will target in the next few weeks. It will be very interesting to see how he and Albon would click together, because we're talking about two very competitive drivers, as both of them have experience driving for top-notch teams. For example, we must not forget the fact that the Thai driver has been driving for Red Bull alongside Verstappen. And even though he took a year off in 2021, returning to Williams in 2022 and showing what he's capable of when given the right environment to work in has been the best move that he could have anticipated in his career. But if he is to expect that Sainz will follow any rules just because Albon is the longer-lasting driver in Williams, he might be up for a surprise, as a smooth operator will be a tough nut to crack. Nonetheless, Albon has been quite positive about the relationship he holds with Sainz, and when talking about this matter, the Thai driver said, "From my side, I'm not so opinionated or phased about who my teammate is. In terms of experience and the general development of the team, of course it would be beneficial. We are on this long journey, on this long project. My relationship with Sainz is as good as it is with everyone else. There's no difference between him and other drivers on the grid." Williams' team principal James Vowles has openly criticised Sargent, admitting that he needs to be performing extraordinarily well in order to keep his seat, and even though he tried to keep it a secret at the beginning of the season, saying that he needs his time, the fact that a driver like Sainz is available and Vowles made him a public target a couple of days ago goes to show that Sargent's time in the sport might be as good as done. Even Magnussen himself admitted that all of the cards are currently being held in Sainz's hands, so by the time he signs a contract with Williams, all of the other pieces of the silly season for 2025 should fall into their place. Sauber would have to choose another driver, for example, Esteban Ocon, who is also a race winner and a podium scorer, even though he's nowhere near as competitive as Sainz. That, however, might change if he's provided with the right equipment in Audi. But be that as it may, the reality for Sargent is something that nobody would wish upon themselves in the current F1 grid. He's very likely to be without a seat and forced to seek his future in another championship, even though he's risen through the ranks of Formula 1 thanks to Williams' help and its academy. As for Sainz, if he's able to put pen to paper on a contract with Williams, it's safe to assume that he will increase the chances of his team landing Adrian Newey, who has now secretly visited Aston Martin's factory and is yet to make a decision about his future. Obviously, working with Alonso is his unfulfilled wish, and Aston Martin has a great opportunity to make that reality for him. But saying that this will be done by all means from the 65-year-old Brit is kind of a far-fetched scenario. A return to Williams, even though it's looking like a slim-shaped scenario right now, is definitely not out of the question, as we are yet to see whether Sainz has signed the deal with Williams in the upcoming race weekend. With all of this in mind, do you think that Sainz will be better than Williams compared to Sauber? And more importantly, do you think that he'll be leading force when it comes to returning to the Grove-based squad back into the midfield? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that's appearing on your screen right now.